Hi. When I sit down today to make these videos on retirements, I think to myself, what am I going to say today which is worthwhile to you? Coming up with new, fresh ideas on how you can have a happy retirement, a contented retirement, a fulfilling and worthwhile retirement. A little while ago, just a few days ago, somebody put a comment, "I'm now your 1,000th subscriber." And that made me feel very proud. A little bit vain. I thought, I've got 1,000 subscribers plus. Then it occurred to me, 1,000 different people, all of you with your own unique perspectives on life, your own views on what retirement will be like when you come up to it, or if you're already retired, whether or not you agree with some of the things I say. And I feel that I really need to come up with something other than the usual blasé things which are so often bandied about the phases of retirement and so forth. These are important, of course, we know that. But what else can I offer? Only my experience, I guess. As I've said in these videos so many times, almost ad nauseum. I've been retired for 28 years. I'm now 87. And I'm still enjoying life. One of the things I do enjoy doing, which makes it worthwhile now, is making these videos. I've been doing so now for roughly 6 months, and I've placed probably 60 and probably have another 25 ready to go in reserve, waiting on my PC. But this is a new one being made right now, and this is the one I hope to release next when I speak to you. When you retire, it brings in a new phase of life, we know that. But what we're coming out of is a mindset of work. We might be a professional in a certain field, and we find it very difficult now to suddenly become free of that and realize that we have this potential, really, to do anything within reason, anything we want to do, to become creative. I can recall a brother-in-law of mine who knew a friend of his and his wife. And this fellow, he'd had a very lowly job. I think he'd been a person working for a local council, local authority, and his job was simply to pick up garbage. And he'd been a garbage collector for years. And then he retired and he did an arts class. And then he discovered his talent. Now, where was this talent all this time? Suddenly he was a painter. He could paint portraits, he could paint scenes, he could paint wonderfully. Not only that, it just evolved seemingly overnight. Within a few months, he was selling his paintings. He was having people come and buy them off the shelf, so to speak. He was a born painter. This was his skill, which he never knew he had until he retired and put it into action. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to be a great artist, but let's put it this way. We do put restrictions on ourselves. We say, I can't do this and I can do that. I can remember for many years, I used to say, oh, I've got no mechanical ability. Everything I turn to, no, I can't do that. No way can I do that. And then one day a friend of mine said to me, Tom, he said, you can do it. Just take your time and do it. And he was talking about an old car I had where the water pump had given up. And he said, go and buy one and do it yourself. Put the new water pump on. Well, what a challenge. I took every little bit off in a certain order, put the new water pump back on in exactly the same order in reverse, and it worked. I couldn't believe it. Suddenly my ability of not being able to do anything mechanical went like that. The point is, we do put these restrictions on ourselves, what I can do and what I can't do. When you're retired, you don't really know what you can do and what you can't do unless you've tried it. Now, we don't retire to just fade away. This is our chance to be whatever we want to be, the chance to be creative. This is the time to get out and do it. We can develop our skills, evolve in things, in areas that we've never been able to do so before. We have to be willing, though, to get off of our backsides and go outside, join groups, join organisations. Look up on the internet, find something which interests you. Give them a phone call, contact them, go along, involve yourself. That's what I did. At one stage I was involved in retirement in 4 different organisations. It was almost too much. I had to give away a couple of them. You can do that too. And remember, as I've said before, once again, ad nauseum, retire as early as you can while you still have the zest, the enthusiasm, the energies to get out there and do these things. Involve yourself. You don't really know for sure, at least consciously, what you can do. You are far, far greater than you realise. Don't let your past, the work that you did in the past, label you now. When people say, what are you? Don't say I was this or was that. Just say I am. I'm a human being, a very creative human being, and you are. So enjoy your retirement, be adventurous, and retire as early as you can.